Hey guys, and welcome back to the Peteytown Piranhas College Football 26 Team Builder Dynasty. In this episode, we're going to be taking on Coastal Carolina, Marshall, and Georgia Southern. It's time to head to the teal field of Coastal Carolina with their 54 overall, so let's try to continue our winning ways. Our offense got it close to midfield, but stalled out after that, so Coastal Carolina is going to get a possession here. They're going to go with an RPO slant play that gets in between our zones, and they're going to get it to the 40. Here's a play action, and Peter Latagoski is going to get in there along with King Peter to help clean it up. So it doesn't take long for our pass rush to get home like it usually has this season. Third down and 15 for Coastal Carolina. They're going to go with the pass here. They're going to look. The pressure gets in, and Peter Latagoski eventually makes his way there again. So now he has a full sack after only getting credit for half a sack on the last one. And we are going to get Coastal Carolina off the field. Third down and 2 for the Piranhas. We're going to send Pianca in motion. And we're going to go to the other side of the field for Picky Rahal, but he's going to fumble it, but thankfully he picks it up. And we're going to drop back. Juju Johnson's going to make the catch, and they bring him down after a 8-yard gain. Third down and 2 for the Piranhas. It's a quick pass over to Pianca, and he gets enough for the first down. Third down and 2. Nobody in the backfield here with Pete Manning. He's going to drop back, and it's going to be a toss to Isaiah Johnson, who makes a nice catch to get us to the 1-yard line. Looks like we're setting up our favorite play near the goal line here, and it's going to work to perfection as Pete Hackler is going to get us into the end zone, and we're going to take the 7-0 lead on Coastal Carolina. And they're going to get a nice pass here on second down as they fit it right in between our zones. Our defense holds tight on first and second down, so now it's third down and 14 for Coastal Carolina. We're going to try a little slant play, but nothing doing. Coastal Carolina's feeling aggressive here. Fourth down and 3. They're going to do a little play action. Our pass rush is getting in, but he gets it out just before they can get there, and they're going to get the first down. Play action again for Coastal Carolina, and this time they're going to hit us over the middle of the field to get it to the 29-yard line. Triple option action here, but that does not fool Dylan Phelps as he brings him down behind the line. Third down and 10 here. Our defense looking to get off the field. Going a little play action. Our pressure gets in there, and Tadarius Collins made him feel his presence on that one. Here's a field goal attempt for the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. They're going to put it up, and it is through the upright, so they're going to chip away at the lead to make it 7-3. The Piranhas are here on a third down and 4. Pete Manning directing traffic out there. He's going to step back. He's going to try a deep ball, and we got a guy open. Isaiah Johnson separated from the defense, and he's going to get us into the end zone. What a huge play by our offense. Pete Manning finds our guy streaking down the field, and we're going to go up 14-3. After that big strike to Isaiah Johnson, both offenses had 3 and outs, and our defense got another stop. So our offense is out here, and it's Isaiah Johnson yet again, getting us to the other side of the 50. Pete Manning's looking here. He's going to get Pete Hackler over the middle of the field to get it to the 29-yard line. Heavy I formation just inside their 25-yard line. Juju Johnson is going to sneak his way and get pushed there for a first down. So nice determination from our running back and offensive line. Inside their red zone here, we're going to go with an RPO, and it's going to be a wide open Pianca Croning getting into the end zone. So the Peteytown Piranhas, after a little back and forth after that big strike from Isaiah Johnson, our offense manages to get it together and put another score on the board, and we're going to go up 21-3. The action, and he's going to go down for the sack. That's a very nice play there by our defense. Thanks to Jordan Crawford, it's third down and 16 for Coastal Carolina. We're going to drop back and fire it over the middle, and we don't have anybody there, and they're going to get the first down. And the pressure is going to get in again. King Peter and Jordan Crawford combine for the sack, and it's 3rd down and 16 again. And that'll be 10 sacks on the season for Jordan Crawford. So it's actually 3rd down and 18 for Coastal Carolina. See if we can get them off the field this time after failing to do so on the last 3rd down. And we will get off the field as it's just a short completion. Pete Manning's going to go with a little play action here on 1st down, and he fits it into the window to Isaiah Johnson, who's having a huge first half. So on the 31-yard line, we're going empty. Pete Manning's got the time he needs, and he's going to find Isaiah Johnson yet again to continue his absolutely massive first half. 3rd down and 1 for the Piranhas, looking to really put their mark on this game to end it. And it's almost a completion in the end zone, just couldn't hang on to it. Petey Boy's going to come out for the 23-yard field goal. He's going to put it up. Looks good, and he's got the angle right, and he's going to put the field goal in, so we're going to go up 24-3. 3rd down and 7 for Coastal Carolina. Got 5 guys on the line, but we drop out of it a little bit. And they're going to find a guy over the middle of the field, and he makes the nice catch to get him all the way to the 47. Coastal Carolina is going to meet Peter Latagowski yet again as he brings him down for the sack. Bringing some pressure here, and it's going to get in again as King Peter brings him down. He's been very active today in the backfield as he's helped to clean up some sacks, but that time he gets one all by himself. 3rd down and 20 for the Chanticleers. They're going to drop back, looking. Pressure gets in as Peter Latagowski hits him, and he's going to force the incompletion. Piranhas have 31 seconds and 1 timeout to work with to see if they can put anything else on the board. And we are going to get a nice completion out there on a little wheel route. 2nd down and inches on their side of the 50. It's going to be a short completion to Juju Johnson, and he's going to get us the 1st down. On 3rd down and 6, we got trips to the left of the formation. Pete Manning's going to drop back. He's going to scramble with it, as he will not try to get out of bounds, but getting the 1st down could help us get the spike off. Let's see if we're quick enough. 2, 1, and we do get the spike down, so great time management by Pete Manning there. We're going to come out here and attempt about a 44-yard field goal. Petey Boy puts it up, and he's going to put it through, so the Piranhas do get some points at the end of the half to make it 27-3 heading into the 2nd half. A 3-and-out by our defense helps us to put the ball on their side of the 50 to open up our drive on offense. Pete Manning's going to drop back and fire over the middle to Isaiah Johnson, and he almost gets us a 1st down. Pete Manning again on the throw is going to find Picky Rahal on the nice slant. Here's a little motion action. Pete Manning is looking. See what he's got. He's going to fire over the middle of the field, and it's a little toe tap catch for Pete A. Caruso in the back of the end zone. So our running back leaks out of the backfield. Pete Manning gives him a little time to get downfield and delivers an absolute strike to the back of the end zone. And Pete A. Caruso shows some nice awareness and nice hand-eye coordination and feet coordination, get his foot down in the back of the end zone. Showing a double mug look here on defense. They're going to back out of it, and they're going to get the screen pass off, and their block set up really nicely as their guy sprints down the field to the 36. And Tadarius Collins is going to get into the backfield for our 7th sack of the game to make it 3rd down and 15. 3rd down and 15 for Coastal Carolina. Our pressure is coming in, and Anthony Kaufman hits him, but he manages to release it, but it falls innocently incomplete. The Piranhas have moved into their side of the field, and Pete Ackler is going to make a nice catch out of a spin move. He's going to get us to the 18-yard line. Pete A. Caruso fits his way through and is making some nice moves to get us within the 3-yard line. From the 3-yard line, it's 1st and goal. Pete Manning's looking, and he's going to get sacked for the 1st time today, and it's a fumble, and Coastal Carolina's picking it up, and their big guy is going to run it all the way back. Nobody's going to be able to catch him. Picky Rahal is coming out of nowhere to get him, and he does get him down at the 2-yard line. So thought nobody was going to get him, but our wide receiver there shows tremendous effort to get him down after a big gain. And Unfortunately, the first sack of the game for us also results in the first turnover of the game. Coastal's got a big heavy look here, looks like a wildcat, and they are going to get it into the end zone. So after all that, Coastal Carolina is going to have their first touchdown of the game to make it 34-10. Offense comes out trying to regroup after that mistake, and we are going to get a nice game from Pete Ackler to help us with that. Juju Johnson's got some space to move, and he's going to move us past the first down marker. P.A. Caruso's got a lane. He makes a nice juke move and a nice spin move, really showing off his very nice moves there to get us to the 23-yard line. Pete Manning's got pressure in his face, but he delivers a strike to Isaiah Johnson, and he's back into the end zone for the second time today. Pete Manning bounces back from that fumble to deliver an absolute strike to our receiver, and we're going to go up 41-10, and that'll pretty much be all we have for this game. So in that fourth quarter, we added one more score to make the final 48-10. Just absolute dominance for the Piranhas as we continue to roll this season. Moving to the Sun Belt this season, Peter Latagosky has made his mark in this conference as well by setting the conference record for single-season sacks. Looking at our stats from this game, we had 564 yards of offense to their 221. We also had 173 yards rushing, while our sacks led them to -1 yards on the ground. And passing the ball, we had 391 yards to their 222. We had 6 for 9 on third downs, nice, while they only had 3 for 15. And each team had a turnover. Outside of that unfortunate fumble for Pete Manning on the sack, he had a very nice day with 377 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Pete A. Caruso had 14 carries for 72 yards, and he also had that receiving touchdown, while Peteytown Grant came in the backup role for 5 carries and 86 yards. Receiving-wise, Isaiah Johnson was an absolute monster in this game with 10 catches, 171 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He was followed by Pete Ackler with 6 catches, 69 yards, nice, and 1 touchdown. And then you had Bianca Croning with 3 for 33 and a touchdown, and Pete A. Caruso getting that 30-yard touchdown reception. Leading the way in tackles was Dylan Phelps with 10, and he also contributed 3 tackles for a loss. Our defense got to the quarterback 9 times today, with 2.5 sacks by Peter Latagosky and Kevon King. And then King Peter added 2, while Jordan Crawford and Tadarius Collins each had 1 sack. And then Peteytown Glenn got an interception that we didn't see on camera. Finally, Petey Boy came in and hit his 2 field goals with a long of 44. Some recruiting updates as 4-star right edge Garrison Temple is joining the team. After his magnificent day, Isaiah Johnson is the Sun Belt Offensive Player of the Week. Going forward another week, Nate Raymond has locked us out now, so we're going to have to go in a different direction for a quarterback. We're probably going to have to bow out of Cameron Schluter because we can only get a Week 12 visit, and by that time, South Carolina or Maryland will probably have him, so we're just going to have to bow out of this one. And a crazy thing is that I pointed out the playing style grade for George Emanuel, and that was a little while ago, but we're still the only team who's offered him, so we'll see if he can stick around and maybe we can get that playing style to a place where we can start putting points on him again. So after the Nate Raymond news, we're looking at a different direction for quarterback, and we found a 3-star gem with David Jewell. His stats aren't like eye-popping, but he does have the gem, so willing to take a chance on him. But we will have to try to fight out Ole Miss and Southern Miss for him, so it might be difficult, but we're just going to throw our hat in the ring. And then another intriguing quarterback prospect is Shaden Leinart with his 90 throw power and 70 accuracies and 69 deep accuracy, nice. And he's got 82 speed and 86 acceleration, so I think he's a good backup option, and he's also got the silver extender ability, so that's intriguing as well. and nobody else is offering him and nobody else has a pipeline, so I think we have a pretty fair shot at getting him. Now it's time to face off against the Marshall Thundering Herd, and they're 72 overall. They are 5-3 on the season, so cannot take them lightly. On their first drive of the game, the Piranhas are 3rd down and 5. Pete Manning's dropping back, and he hits a nice little dig route there to Picky Rahal, and he gets us to the 49-yard line. We've gotten it to their side of the 50, but we're on a 3rd down and 2. In motion now is Bianca Croning. And Pete Manning's going to drop back and swing it over to our guy Juju Johnson, who sneaks his way for the first down. A couple of Pete A. Caruso runs set us up for a 3rd down and 3. We're going to hike it and throw it quickly out to Bianca Croning, and he gets hit, but he fights his way for the first down. Inside their 30-yard line now. We're going to get it out there quickly to Picky Rahal, and he fumbles. And we are going to challenge that because I think he was down. So we won the challenge easily, so it sets up a 2nd down and inches inside their red zone. We're going to do a little motion and quickly hit our guy for the first down. From the 12-yard line now, Pete Manning is going to step back, and he's going to fire to Bianca Croning, who's wide open for the touchdown. And we are going to take the lead early. Our defense got the stop on the Marshall Thundering Herd, so here comes our offense. We're going to get a quick slant out there to get back some lost yardage. 3rd down and 4 for the Peteytown Piranhas. Pete Manning's firing quickly, and he's going to get our guy for the first down, Pete Ackler. Near midfield, we're on 3rd down and 4. Pete Manning's dropping back, firing quickly, and he fits it into a tight window, and we're going to get the first down. Nearing the end of the first quarter, we're on a 3rd down and 14 from the 40-yard line. Bianca's going to go in motion. Pete Manning's going to try a deep ball, and it is knocked away by Marshall. So both offenses fail to get anything going, so Marshall's going to come back here for their 2nd drive of the game, and they're going to get a first down on a screen pass. Empty formation here for Marshall on 2nd down. We're going to drop back to pass. We're going to get some pressure in, and Peter Latagoski and Tadarius Collins get in. We've heard that said many times this season, as those guys have been providing excellent pass rush all season long. After that sack, it's 3rd down and 19 for the Thundering Herd. The pressure's getting in again. Their quarterback had some happy feet, but he manages to get it out for a little gain. Here comes our offense again, and it's going to be a quick toss out to Bianca Croning, who almost manages to get away but gets a 7-yard gain. 3rd down and 2 for the Piranhas. Pete Manning's going to drop back, and he's going to fire a nice strike to Pete Ackler for the first down. Our running game has been stuffed here in the early going as we get a loss on the previous play. So we're looking at a 2nd down and 12. Bianca's going to go in motion yet again. And we're going to look. Pete Manning's going to find Juju Johnson over the middle of the field, and he's going to convert a first down. Pete A. Caruso finally gets a crease and a block, and our running game has been stuck in the mud, like I said, but that time we got a nice little strike there to get it to first down yardage. Inside their red zone here, we come out in the heavy eye formation look. We're going to hand it off up the middle to Juju, and a nice boost of acceleration, and he just speeds by their safeties there, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown. We're going to go up 2 scores in the first half here on Marshall. Marshall's coming out firing, and they're going to hit their guy on a deep route. They beat us off the line there to get it into our territory on the first play. Here comes Marshall now. They're going to do a little RPO and hit their guy wide open. Just outside the red zone here for Marshall. They're going to drop back, and we get the pressure in as Peter Latagoski hit sticks him there to get him to a 3rd down. 3rd down and 10. Marshall's just trying to put something on the board here. They're going to drop back to pass. They're going to float it to the end zone, and we knock it away on some nice coverage. This will be a 42-yard field goal for Marshall. They're going to put up the kick, and it will go in. So Marshall's on the board as it's a 14-3 ball game now. So Marshall gets the field goal and then forces our offense off the field on a 3-and-out, so they got a little momentum. But on play action, we're going to get the sack to stall some of that momentum. Anthony Kaufman coming in on the blitz like a heat-seeking missile. Anthony Kaufman has made it a difficult third down conversion now. It's 3rd down and 17. They're going to look, and we're going to get in for the sack as our pass rush has come alive once again. Another quick toss from Pete Manning, and he's got Pete Ackler, who uses his speed to get around the edge and gets it to the 36-yard line. Here come the Piranhas again, throwing the ball. It's going to be Juju Johnson with lots of space and a spin move, and he gets it inside their red zone. Pete Manning is looking, firing into the sideline again, and we're going to get it out of bounds to keep that clock stopped. So the Piranhas have all their options open here with all 3 timeouts from the 7-yard line, but we're going to settle for the option that gets Marshall a sack as they brought in the pressure. So 3rd down and goal for the Piranhas, looking to add on to the lead. We're going to try a floated pass, and it is knocked away. Try to jump ball there, but Marshall's DBs were ready for it. Petey Boy is going to come out here for about a 31-yard field goal, and he's going to split the uprights and put us up 2 touchdowns once again. We're going to be going there 17-3. Our defense opened the second half with a stop on Marshall, so here comes our offense from the 21-yard line. 2nd down and 10. We're going to send Pianka in motion. And Pete Manning's going to drop back, toss it to Juju, but they've seen that play a few times, and they hit our guy before he can get much. It's 3rd down and 5. Pete Manning's got a bunch to the left. He's going to look, and he's going to find his drag, and Pete Ackler almost had enough space to make that really huge play, but their guy got up just before he could get more yardage on that one. 3rd down and 4 for the Piranhas. It'll be a strike, and it's going to be a long strike as Isaiah Johnson gets away from the defense. For a second there, I thought their DB was going to jump it for the interception, but Isaiah Johnson shows his concentration to haul in the catch, and then he just blew by their DBs for the long touchdown. Isaiah Johnson just coming on strong the last couple of weeks, and we're going to go up a nice 24-3 on the Marshall Thundering Herd. And it's just going to be an absolute bull rush from Jordan Crawford as he gets in there for the sack. 3rd down and 12 here for Marshall, really needing something on this drive. We're going to see them throw a long pass, double coverage, and nothing there for them, so we're going to force them off the field once again. Our offense gets forced on a 3-and-out, but we get a beautiful punt to pin them at the 2-yard line. And their running back is running backwards, and we just don't get the safety there as we tackle them for a 2-yard loss. And we are going to get the safety here as our guy, Darius Collins, fires into the backfield and brings down their running back. And it's going to be 26-3 Piranhas. After the safety, our offense gets forced off the field on a 3-and-out again. So the defense comes back on the field, and they're getting a tackle for a loss with Jake Arkin on the screen pass. 3rd down and 11 for Marshall. Looking for anything they can get here. They're going to drop back and fire it quickly right over our guy in the seam, and they're going to get the 1st down. Another run, and he's going to get hit, and it is Darius Collins this time on the TFL. Dropping back for Marshall, and it's intercepted on a very nice play. He was baited that time by King Peter, and he's going to get what I believe is the first interception of his career, so congratulations to him on that. Just absolutely fantastic coverage on that. King Peter sets up our offense at the 39-yard line, and this running game outside of that one drive has just been not good at all. The one real negative from the game today. We bounce back from that TFL on 1st down to bring it to 3rd down and 6, and it'll be a little RPO hitch route, and Isaiah Johnson almost juked his way out of the 1st down, but he fought his way for it. And Pete A. Caruso finally has a lane, and he's going to get us to the 8-yard line. finally our running back is able to get some room to work with. Petey Caruso sets us up now at the 8-yard line, 1st and goal. We're going to hit our tight end, and Kyrie Toon breaks off some tackles to get us to the 2-yard line. Offsides penalty puts it at 2nd and goal from the 1. We're going to do a handoff, and Juju Johnson is stood up at the line by Marshall. Come out in our goal line formation again, and it's going to be another handoff to Juju, and Marshall stuffs him again. So, my goodness, this running game just has been really inconsistent today. Petey Boy is going to put up the kick, and he's going to put it through, so we're going to get something out of that drive after all. And they throw our guy off, and they're going to get the first down off that pass. Under 5 minutes to go here in the game. They're going to do a little RPO, and that's going to be intercepted again, our 2nd interception of the game. And that is going to be Anthony Kaufman on the pick. He made it look like he was going to be blitzing, but he stopped his blitz or whatever he was doing as he saw their quarterback was going to throw the ball, and he just stayed in his spot and was in the perfect spot to make the interception. Anthony Kaufman puts us in scoring position again, and we are going to toss it out there to Picky Rahal, who gets us the first down. From the 23-yard line, Pete Manning's going to drop back. The pressure's coming in, and their defense just beat our tackle there. And Pete Manning didn't have enough time to find somebody open. We're going to do a little motion action. And Pete Manning's going to toss it over to Pianca, who breaks a tackle and fights for 8 yards, but not enough for the first down. Petey Previtt says, why not? Let's just go for it here. And we are going to toss it and get the first down on that play. So Isaiah Johnson makes the nice catch. 3rd down and goal with just 40 seconds left in this game. It's going to be a handoff, and guess what? We did not convert with the running game. Petey Boy is going to come out for a 23-yard field goal as time is going down, and he's going to put it in, and it's going to make it a 32-3 game. So the defense was lights out in this game, and the offense had some struggles going on there as the game went on, but it was just never really in question about the results, so they might have just taken their foot off the gas a little bit as the game went on, but we will take a 32-3 victory anytime. And nothing popped up during the game, so I wasn't aware of it, but we have history being made in this game as Peter Latagowski has set the national career record for sacks. So congratulations to Peter Latagowski on a tremendous achievement. So we got some stats here. We got 380 yards to their 100. And then rushing-wise, they had negative 28 yards thanks to all those sacks. And we weren't that great either with 53 yards and 1 touchdown. Passing-wise, they had 128 yards to our 327. They were also 3 for 9 on 3rd down while we were 11 for 19. And we also forced those 2 interceptions while keeping our sheet clean. Nice day from Pete Manning with 327 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions, although he was sacked 3 times today. Running-wise, we saw the struggles. Pete A. Caruso had 16 carries for 55 yards, while Juju Johnson had 8 carries for 16 yards and 1 touchdown. Receiving, Isaiah Johnson had 4 catches, 79 yards, and a touchdown, while Pete Ackler had 7 for 74 yards, and Pianca Croning had 8 catches, 52 yards, and a touchdown. Anthony Kaufman had himself a day with 8 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, 1 sack, and 1 interception. And your national career record holder for sacks, Peter Latagowski, had 2 on this game, while Jordan Crawford had 1.5, and Anthony Kaufman had that 1. Tadarius Collins had half a sack. And we mentioned Anthony Kaufman's interception, and he was joined by King Peter for an interception. And Petey Boy continued his nice kicking ways, making 3 of 3 field goals with a long of 31. And another recruit has come in with defensive tackle Walter Lyles, a 4-star. More positive news for recruiting is that George Emmanuel's playing style finally got above the threshold we needed, so we're able to put some points into him again. And the gem quarterback David Jewell has us up to 3rd on his board now, so we're right below his top 2 choices, so we'll see if we can make any headway. And Shaden Leinart has put us 1st on his board, so we're in the driver's seat there. Our final game of the episode will be against 58 overall Georgia Southern with their 2-7 record, so hopefully we can keep the good times rolling. Not a good start for our offense as they were forced off the field on a 3-and-out. And Georgia Southern is on our side of the 50 now, and they're going to try a jet touch pass, and King Peter makes the stop to prevent the first down. It's 3rd down and 1 for the Eagles. They're making some checks at the line here. And they're going to go with the handoff, and we crunch them as a crowd of piranhas get them down. Georgia Southern's going to try to go for it here on 4th down and 2. They're going to hand it off, and they're got a wide open lane there, and we can't bring them down. Now they're going to drop back to pass. We bring in heavy pressure, and their quarterback just manages to get it out, but throws it at the feet of his receiver. Here it's about a 50-yard attempt for Georgia Southern, and we are going to get hit with the roughing the kicker penalty here, so they're going to keep their drive alive thanks to our very bad personal foul there. 3rd down and 7 from the 15-yard line. They're going to scramble. Their quarterback is going to throw it right to our defender. Anthony Kaufman is there. I don't know what their quarterback was thinking. Anthony Kaufman was just sitting right in front of their receiver, and instead of trying to scramble for it, he tried that pass, and Anthony Kaufman just says, "Look what I found." After that gift of an interception, the Piranhas come out on offense again. They're going to try a stretch with Pete Caruso, who's got nowhere to go. Pete Caruso just got stuffed on 1st down, so we're behind the 10-yard line here. Pete Manning's going to find Bianca Croning here for a nice 10-yard gain. 3rd down and 3 for the Piranhas. It's a heavy eye formation. We're just going to go with a simple handoff to Juju Johnson, and he gets what he needs for the 1st down. A couple of runs get us 6 yards, and it's 3rd down and 4. Got a wide bunch to the left. Pete Manning is going to fire, and we're going to get the 1st down with Isaiah Johnson out of that bunch formation. Here in the pistol, it's going to be Pete Caruso, and he's going to break a tackle, and he's going to have some space to work as he jukes his way and gets us to the 41-yard line. This time it's a power-o with Pete Caruso. He jukes his way, and he's really finding his rhythm now as he gets us to the 21-yard line. Just outside their red zone here. 2nd down and 10, and Pete Manning's going to toss it out there, and it's going to be Sharon Wright Jr. 3rd down and 3 for the Piranhas. They're showing a blitz, and they're sending the blitz, but we pick it up nicely, and Picky Rahal makes the nice grab to get us to their 2-yard line. 1st and goal here for the Peteytown Piranhas. And it's going to be a direct snap to Pete Caruso, and he's going to juke his way into the end zone, and we're going to go up 7-0. Here comes another run for Georgia Southern, and they are having some success on the ground as they get a 1st down. Handoff for Georgia Southern, and they're really having some success now as they're getting wide open lanes. We're going to try to respond to this running game with a lot of guys on the line, but they still manage to get the blocks they need, and are going to get it close to the midfield. So their running game has gotten it on our side of the 50, but Georgia Southern is facing a 3rd down and 5 here. They're going to go with a double stack formation, see what they can get out of it. And they're going to do a draw right up the middle, so they caught us unawares as nobody was there to contest the running back. Inside our 40-yard line now, Georgia Southern's doing a little audible action, and they're going to pass the ball here over the middle, and they're going to hit a strike on a crossing route, and they're going to get it to our 14-yard line as the 1st quarter comes to a close. And quick pressure out of nowhere. Jordan Crawford just gets in there almost seemingly untouched on that play, and that's going to put him on a 3rd down and 17. 3rd down and 17, just outside of the red zone after that sack from Jordan Crawford. Georgia Southern's going to drop back, and Jordan Crawford can't get him behind the line, but he does manage to chase him down to force a field goal attempt. The field goal attempt is going to be from 30 yards out, and their kicker puts it through, and it's going to make it a 7-3 ball game. Pete Manning is going to fire quickly, and it's going to be Pete A. Caruso making a nice reception there to get it to the 38-yard line, the 36-yard line, excuse me. Out of the pistol, we've had some success on the pistol formations, and it's going to be a nice play-action toss to Pete Ackler as he's going to get it to their 45-yard line. Going to come out here in an I formation on 2nd down. Pete A. Caruso is going to have all the room he needs to make a big run, and Pete A. Caruso is really finding his flow in this game as he gets it to the 26-yard line. Pete Manning is going to fire, and it's going to be Pete Ackler making a catch in front of 2 defenders. Got 2 tight ends to the right in this shotgun formation. And we're going to hit Bianca Croning, and they can't bring him down, and he's going to get his way into the end zone. Bianca Croning with the touchdown to put us up 14-3. After that nice drive by the offense, let's see what the defense can do here. And they're going to go with a play action and toss it over the middle of the field and hit their guy. But we force a fumble, and we're going to pick up the fumble. A big hit gets that ball to get loose, and that's going to be Dwayne Thrasher on the fumble recovery. What a great play by the defense. We gave up the yards, but a big hit is going to give them the 2nd turnover of the game. And Dylan Phelps was in there to hit him to jar that ball loose. 3rd and inches from the 10-yard line. They're bringing heavy pressure, and that's not going to be the right decision as it lets Isaiah Johnson get open on the drag route. 1st and goal for the Piranhas. It's going to be an RPO pass, and Pete Manning pulls it and tosses it to Picky Rahal for the touchdown. Great decision by our quarterback there, well executed by Picky Rahal on that slant route, and we are going to go up 21-3. Here comes Georgia Southern, and now we know they're feeling rattled because we finally stopped them behind the line. Here they come again with the pass. Pass rush is getting in there, and he's going to go down to Darius Collins there on the sack with another friend there. Should have been, I think it was Jordan Crawford who joined him in on that one. And now the defense is really teeing off. They're feeling that momentum after another turnover. 3rd down and 20 for Georgia Southern. They're just going to do a little screen pass and nothing doing, and we are going to get off the field. Our offense is set up on their side of the field again, and Pete A. Caruso is just fighting his way for his yards today. Just a great game from him. 3 receivers to the right of this formation, and it's going to be an RPO slant to Pete Ackler. He's going to get us to the 7-yard line. 3rd down and goal. It's going to be an RPO, and Juju Johnson is swallowed up. Petey Boy is coming out here for looks like a 27-yard field goal, and he's going to put it through, and the Peteytown Piranhas are going to go up 24-3 on the Georgia Southern Eagles. 3rd down and 7. They're going to try a long pass here. They might have something, but no, they do not, as we're going to knock it away. Petel Bell is going to get a nice return on the punt return, and he's going to get it all the way to their 28-yard line. That punt return really sets up our offense nicely here as we are inside their 30. Pete Manning is going to toss it to the sideline, and Sharon Wright Jr. makes the 5-yard catch. Here comes Pete Manning tossing it to the sideline, and Bianca Croning just can't manage to stay in bounds but gets it to the 11-yard line. 2nd down and 8. Pete Manning is firing, and he's got a wide open Pete Ackler. He found him in the soft spot of the defense, and Pete Ackler is going to put us up 31-3. and this game is getting out of hand pretty quickly now. It's 3rd down and 9 for Georgia Southern on their next set of downs. They're going to drop back to pass. The pressure's coming in, and Jordan Crawford is going to bring him down for the sack. After that defensive stop, our offense is coming out onto the field, and I think at this point I'm probably just going to go to highlights of the game, so if anything of importance or excitement happens, I'll show you guys the highlights. Here comes Pete Caruso up the middle, and he's going to get into the end zone again. Pete Caruso, after having some struggles last week, he's going to find the end zone again, as this game has been complete reversal of what that last game was. So very nice job and a bounce back effort from him. And here's a pop pass to Bianca Croning that he gets into the end zone on, and he salutes the crowd. So the Peteytown Piranhas get the dominant 52-3 win over Georgia Southern. Just all sides of the ball playing very well today. They were able to get some things going on the running game, but really that's the only positive Georgia Southern had in this game. Just completely dominant in every facet. Pete Manning has etched his name into the Sun Belt record book with the single-season passing touchdowns record. Let's take a look at these stats, with our offense getting 455 yards to their 201. They just managed to get 93 yards rushing, while we had 187 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns, so great bounce back from our running game in this one. Passing-wise, we had 268 yards to their 108. 3rd down, we were 7 for 10, while they were 4 for 16. And those 2 turnovers early really set the tone as we took over with those, and we did not turn the ball over on offense. Pete Manning spread the ball around nicely with 230 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no interceptions, and he was only sacked once. Pete Caruso was a playmaker today with 13 carries, 98 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Pete Ackler led the way receiving-wise with 7 catches, 97 yards, and a touchdown, while Bianca Croning had 6 catches, 57 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And then you had Picky Rahal getting into the end zone as well. We had Watts McBride and Cameron Fleming leading with 9 tackles each. We got 8 sacks in this game, with Jordan Crawford accounting for 2.5, Darius Collins getting 1.5, and Jake Arkin also with 1.5. Then King Peter and Peter Latagoski each had 1 sack, as well as Kevon King. Then you had Anthony Kaufman getting that gift of an interception. Dylan Phelps gets credit for the forced fumble, while Dwayne Thrasher got the fumble recovery. And Petey Boy nailed his only kick today from 27 yards out. And say hello to 4-star wide receiver James Bickley, who is also a gem, so very excited to get him in the building. And Mike linebacker Eric Gooden, a 4-star, also joins our defense. So that'll be it for this episode. In our next episode, we are going to be finishing our last 3 games of the regular season, which will be against Appalachian State, Old Dominion, and an out-of-conference game of Purdue to end the regular season. And then we'll see where we stand going into the postseason from there. I'll see you guys in the next video.